My name is Elise Keaton. I'm a volunteer for the Keeper of the Mountains Foundation. I am an environmental activist. I am also a lawyer. I'm from southern West Virginia originally, and I live there now. I went out and lived in a lot of other places and came home here. I feel as though there's always been a kind of a mythology around Appalachia as it relates to birth defects and the implications of inbreeding and backwoods and tight families and things like that. And it was something that, I heard as a kid growing up, and I kind of took on as part of who I was. It just seemed like an accepted part of our identity. And I went out into the world feeling as though I had to represent that differently. I had to be a better hillbilly, so to speak. I had to be an articulate, smart hillbilly. A lot of the literature reflects the sentiment that the people in Appalachia are poor because they choose to be. And what they meant by that is they refuse to assimilate into a broader economy. And when I heard that, I thought about myself, and I thought, well, it's not a refusal to assimilate, it's that I identify wealth differently. I feel as though access to resources that are necessary for life is wealth. My mother gave me birth, but the land gives me life. So there's a broad part of my culture that just, they define wealth differently than an economic market-based definition. And I think there's something really beautiful about that. Homes are passed down from generation to generation here, more so than in other states. We have a lot of families on land that have been there for hundreds of years, literally. And so not only do they own that home, they own a big chunk of property that they can farm and that, supplies them with what they need. And people often say, well, if this is so bad, if mining is so bad and it's going to happen, why would you stay? Why wouldn't you just move somewhere else where it's not happening? Well, when you think about uprooting from a place where you own your home, you own your land, it completely supports you, and thinking about having to purchase a home, purchase land, purchase food, purchase water, where is that money going to come from? We come from a different ethos. We see our role with our land as a symbiotic relationship. It's not that we exploit it, it's that it supports us. There's just a dishonesty happening, and that is harmful to communities, because what we see here is it turns people who should be relating to each other, who are impacted in identical ways, it turns them against each other and pits their interests against one another, when that's a false fight. These miners and the environmentalists have way more in common than they don't. And that's what's been lost. And I'm hopeful, though. I mean, I love my community, and I know that when I just smile and talk about things that, matter to me as a human being, there's something that really beautiful occurs with a relationship with my community. And I always say that if you want to change this world, be in relationship with one another and in relationship with your community.